allegations of domestic abuse can be used to gain legal aid or prevent the child from spending time with the other parent until a finding of facts. These interim outcomes can be difficult to reverse after prolonged delay and therefore can lead to poor long outcomes for the child. So let's look at that. It's really, really important. First of all, what they're saying is that parents, usually the resident parent, which is quite often the mother, and again, I'm not being sexist here, it's not about men versus women here, it's just a statistical fact that it's usually fathers who are on the receiving end of this. The mother will apply for legal aid by including allegations of abuse, because it gains access to funding and money for what they're trying to do. But they will then also make these false allegations to prevent time being spent with the children, and that is to cause harm to the other parent. And it's all there, it's written, it's obvious. This is not new news. This is coming up time and time again. It's in the BBC News right at the moment. Go onto any of the Papa pages, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It's all over it at the moment. It's all over the BBC. This is not new news. It's just recycled news that comes around every few years. I've seen it years ago. There was a Panorama documentary on it, probably about a year ago, by somebody called Louise Tickle. She'd also written an article in The Guardian, which I'm planning to talk about at a later date as well. But yeah, this is basically it, isn't it? This is one of the reasons that we end up in court. And this is the reason that parents, fathers are being destroyed by this particular system. Because here it says there's no spending time with the other parent until the fact-finding. So basically, parents are not allowed to see their children if there are false allegations in play. Doesn't matter if you bring all the evidence on day one and go, hey, look, these are all false, obviously, here's the evidence. Let's forget about this. Oh, no, it doesn't work like that. You have to come back in 3 to 6 months and we'll talk about looking at your evidence. Oh, I've got it here today. Look at it. I can prove. They don't want to see it. So therefore, you've got to wait 3 months at best. 6 months if you're lucky, 9 months on average of not having access to your children. Unless the mother says, oh, do you know, yeah, I'm going to let you see the children because I'm such a nice person. I'll let you have one day at the weekend. Pick them up for 2 hours. Pick them up at the weekend. You can take them to the park, but bring them back straight away. I'm doing that because I'm such a good parent. I really care. And I want you to have time with the children. I really do. And the most disgusting part of this is that if we look here, so I'm going to highlight this whole section because it's just making my blood boil reading it. These interim outcomes can be difficult to reverse after prolonged delay. So basically what happens is you spend a year, 2 years in family court. You prove the allegations of domestic abuse that have been made to you completely false. You then prove that you're in actual fact the victim of domestic abuse. You then prove that the other party is in fact the abuser. It's all presented in court. Now there's a finding, there's a fact finding made, there's a decision made, and you think to yourself, okay, well, yeah, well, the decision's obviously gone in the correct way, but after looking at the evidence, we can reverse all these decisions, right, about access to the child and, you know, who should be responsible for the parent, or 50-50 at least. And then you get told, yeah, sorry, it doesn't work like that. What we're going to do is we've decided to leave as it is. Because it's taken this long, we're going to leave it as it is for the good of the children.